It is 3:52 on Wednesday, which means we are live in the 352. I am Sandy Moore. I'm the Executive Director of the Leesburg Area Chamber of Commerce, and this is a program that we do to spotlight our members. Today we are, I am actually sitting at the consultation desk at Burry's Pharmacy, and I have Jim Burry here, and we're going to talk about, or let you get to know them a little bit better. So with that, I will turn this around. Hello, Jim.
Hey, how are you?
All right, well, Jim, tell us a little bit about Burry's Pharmacy.
Burry's Pharmacy is one of Leesburg's treasures. We've been in business in Leesburg since 1964. My father moved to town in 1960 and went to work for Jack Hewitt at Hewitt's drugstore down beside the old Stokes Fish Market on Main Street, and opened his business here on the corner of Lee Street and 441 in 1964.
Wow.
Moved into this building in 1985 and plan on being here for a long time.
Well, and you mentioned your dad, and this is definitely a family business,
Yes,
because you have a son that's coming up, I think.
That's right. My son Trey is in his last year of pharmacy school. He's doing a rotation in Alexandria, Virginia right now, finishing up pharmacy school next June or July, and plans to come back to the Burg and go in the business.
Well, I love it when our kids come back.
That's right.
Definitely love that. So tell me, what is it about Burry's Pharmacy that's unique or different?
Well, we are a business that was founded on personalized service. We do local delivery. Doesn't cost you a penny. If you've got a mom, a dad, a grandma, a granddad that can't get out a lot, we're more than happy to bring their medications to them. We do charge accounts for people. We send bills all over the U.S. for some of our older residents. Take care of a lot of people in Lakeport, down at Hawthorne, that type of thing. And we just try to tailor our business to your needs. You know who you're going to talk to when you come in. You're going to see the same faces, and we're going to do everything we can to make you understand why you're taking the pills and try to get you a better outcome.
Well, and I will say, I come here, of course, because my dad's pharmacy, all of his stuff he has done.
Absolutely.
Not to break any kind of HIPAA or whatever.
That's right. That's right.
But I'm here, and what I'm really impressed is you all are so fast. I mean, I've gone to other pharmacies, and it's at minimum 30-minute wait.
Yeah.
And
I get that. I mean, that's part of the service. We are not trying to sell you, products from Taiwan or China, or we're not trying to keep you in the store so you can do a little shopping out front. We're trying to make your day easier and faster. We got a drive-in window. Like I said, we have delivery, and we love to have walk-ins come in and ask questions of us.
Well, and so when you say that, ask questions, because I think a lot of people forget that they can go to their pharmacist and talk to them about the medicine that they're taking, or what are some other things that they should maybe ask their pharmacist, like if they get a cold or what. Talk to me.
Yeah, the interesting thing about pharmacy, I guess, from a consumer standpoint, is we're one of the few healthcare professionals out there that you can just walk in anytime and talk to one and get some good information about medications, or about disease states, or about football scores, if that's what you want to talk about. We're here to talk to people, and that's what makes us unique. We've set up, as you see, our pharmacy is we've got a nice little private area that we can talk to you, and use the computer that'll give us all the answers that we don't know. Nowhere to go look for them.
And you definitely have some of the friendliest people out there working. I'm waving up, but they're so busy working they can't even look up.
Yeah. Great employees is what makes a great business, and I've got as good employees as you can have.
So, are there things that, like, I mentioned, like the cold medicines. Are those kind of things that they should maybe talk to a pharmacist about if they're taking other medications, as to what they should take?
Yeah, that's a big deal, because in today's world, you might pick up something free over at Publix and something else at CVS, or there's people are using a lot of different drugstores. They're using mail order for some of their stuff, and a lot of times each part of the puzzle doesn't really know the complete whole, and you can get in trouble. If you're on blood pressure medications, you got to be very careful about taking decongestants because they can have opposite effects. So, decongestants are readily available over the counter. So, it's always a good idea to kind of run it by somebody.
What about supplemental, like vitamins and different things like that? Is that something we should talk to our pharmacist about too?
Yeah, I mean, there's vitamins are readily available to everybody. The more concern than just vitamins is probably some of the herbal products. Typically, they aren't as purified as pharmaceutical grade drugs are. They kind of have how all this stuff works is kind of like a lock and key. It either goes in and makes something happen, or it blocks something from happening when you take a drug. When you're taking an herbal, it can have other effects wider than just the lock and key. So you may have some very good positive things happening with an herbal product, but it can also affect other systems in a negative way. So it's a good idea to kind of check that out before you start taking stuff.
Well, and there's so many things that if you're not in that profession, you just don't know. Like, for example, I remember I was taking ibuprofen because I'd hurt my knee,
right,
and I was taking it kind of regularly because my knee hurt, so every time it didn't,
right,
my blood pressure went sky high, and I had
right,
no idea that could affect that.
Right. Yeah, there's and that's one of the services that you can always get from your local pharmacist. Come in and talk to them, tell them about it. We're here, and that's really what we want to do is talk to the public and make them aware of what's happening with their medications.
Well, I appreciate that, and thank you so much for your time. I know you kind of pitch hit for us today.
Hey, no problem.
We were supposed to, if those of you are tuning in and saw that we were going to be doing this on Renew Day Spa, we had to we had to postpone them. We're going to do this again with them later, so now we are there. This is a good question. We've got a question on Facebook.
Okay.
So their question is, how will the cannabis game affect the RX community?
Probably the local pharmacies are going to be a little bit hesitant to get readily involved in that because we're regulated on our controlled substances through the feds, and the feds still view marijuana as an illegal substance, Category 1 drug. They're allowing the states to kind of do that, but I'm particularly concerned with my federal license, my ability to dispense other controlled substances. So, I'm not really in that game. But, there's some good information out there that, that we need to move forward in that direction. And, I support them in what they do, but it'll probably be set up in a some type of
if by any chance the federal laws change.
Correct.
Is that right?
Correct. Yeah. I mean, most retail pharmacies are just worried that the feds could pull our DEA license, which then would make all of our controlled substances go away.
Right.
So it's kind of a risk we're not willing to take.
But thank you, Steve, so much for asking that question, because that is a great question.
Right.
That is curious. And I don't know that they're even doing any of that in Lake County. I haven't seen anything.
Don't know anything yet. It's a little bit...
not to digress completely
yeah.
against the subject. So anyway, well, thank you again so much for doing this for us today. We appreciate it. And I'm going to turn this around.
All right.
And I'm just going to say thank you for joining us. I want to remind you that tomorrow night we have our business after hours at ERA Grizzard, and that's going to be a great business after hours. So I encourage you to make plans to be there. It's from 5:30 to 7 at ERA Grizzard. That's their office that's off of the boulevard. So I hope that I get to see you there. Otherwise, we'll see you next week in our Live in the 352.
Finish.